Have you ever noticed how in your mind you're this confident baddie that can get anything that she wants, but the moment that you end up in the spotlight for a moment, your confidence goes out of the window. Maybe your crush is there, maybe your boss is finally seeing the work you've done, and now is the moment when you actually need that privilege of the confident woman, of the magnetic woman. But no, your confidence is gone. You feel that need of shrinking, of disappearing. It just doesn't turn out like in your head. The reason why you don't stand out is not because you're not capable of it, but because you are afraid to be seen. When someone is afraid of being seen, they will try to hide a part of themselves. And in this case, you are trying to hide the darkness and the ugliness in you, which we all have. But the people that stand out are proud of that ugliness and of that darkness. When you try to hide your dark side, you perform light 24/7. Light, beauty, perfection. But this is still a performance. Everyone can see you performing. Do you think this comes across hot? No, this comes across like a people pleaser, like a nice girl. Even though in your head you are a baddie, because you are a baddie, but as long as you perform light the whole time, you are always gonna hide that part of you, and nobody's gonna know. Women that are afraid of being seen, they're never gonna have an impact on anything, because they're always the lukewarm water. It's not cold, it's not hot, it doesn't create any reaction in people's nervous system. I've been like that for so many years, and right now I'm the type of woman that I know that I stand out. Anywhere I go, any room I enter, I stand out. I love standing out, I choose to stand out, and I do what it takes to stand out, because I know that this moves me in life. And I have no shame in saying it. The cost of this was to accept my dark side fully. I let people see the uncomfortable in me, the weird in me, the ugliness in me, every single time, and I make it as iconic as the good parts of me. And in this video I'm gonna share everything I do in the most unfiltered way. Because after this video, I'm not letting not even one of you coming out of here average. You will be unshakable in any situation, no matter who is there. No matter what is going on, you are not gonna lose your composure. And you are gonna become the reference point for everyone in the room. And not because you're a good girl, and because you're perfect, but because you're not gonna be afraid of people seeing the bad in you. And I can promise you, everyone is gonna be enchanted by that. And embracing your darkness is not about being this mean girl that doesn't care about anyone and is selfish, it's rude, and then expects people to bend over backwards for her. No, this is not darkness, this is being embarrassing. Embracing your darkness is knowing when it's time to be nurturing and when it's time to burn everything down to the ground, to be the source for yourself of validation, of love, of success, of everything, and be willing to burn down to the ground everything that doesn't serve you anymore, to shed every identity that doesn't serve your purpose every single time that it takes. Number one is allow yourself to feel your emotions, but don't identify with them. Since I embraced my darkness, I realized that I feel all my emotions much more than before. I don't try to repress my intensity anymore. I understand that I feel deeply, and I just pull away and deal with it. I don't expect other people to fix me or make me feel better unless they offer to. Now I can see how beautiful our emotions are, because they always take me where I need to be. Maybe sometimes it is to make someone else feel seen. Maybe to really be able to feel what another human being is feeling. And at the same time, I'm there for myself and even for them. For myself, because I'm not telling this part of me to just shut up and disappear. But at the same time, I'm able to be nurturing and present for someone without having to fake this bubbly personality that I clearly don't have. In this society where every person is performing something, is trying to play a character, and in the end of the day, they end up looking like NPCs. You turn on the TV, people unalive each other every day like it's a video game. People do cruel things to other people. This is not cool, this is disgusting. And that's why embracing your emotions, being there for your emotions and using them to be there for other people as well, immediately makes you stand out. They make you look and feel alive in a crowd of performers. This might not look like much to you, but people are not used to see other people anymore. People are used to see NPCs with a mask, a filter on, and that's it. Being able to see people and meet them where they are, not where you wish they were or where they are supposed to be. This is one of the most magnetic qualities that a human being can have. And is it helpful to know how to hide your emotions? Obviously, everyone should be able to hide their emotions when it's needed. Does this mean that we should hide them all the time and shut them down completely? Absolutely not. Because being cold is easy and common, but being in your power and at the same time being sensitive and creating this safe space, that is noble and rare. That's why I'm telling you that dark feminine energy is not about being cold. It's just like nature. It embraces creation and also destruction. You create safety, you create space, but you are also willing to destroy everything that you created if it's not serving you. The moment someone betrays you, yes, you leave. The moment you need to hide your emotions, yes, you do. When you allow yourself to embrace your full range, you become like nature. Not always nice, not always pleasurable, but definitely unique, layered, and irreplaceable. And nobody can steal anything from you, because the only way to get to you is through you. Next one is embracing your sexy side even when you don't get any attention or validation for it. Don't just get ready and dress up and feel hot when you go to a club or to some date or wherever when you go out. Get comfortable activating your sex appeal even when you're just sitting on your sofa watching a movie, or when you go to do groceries, wherever that doesn't really require that. Not because you want someone to notice you, but because of the way that it makes you feel. The way you see yourself daily affects much more how you feel about yourself than how other people see you every single time that you go out. So why would you invest so much energy into impressing other people and so less energy into impressing yourself? If most of the time that you spend home, you spend looking like garbage. Because most people, even myself included, time ago I was looking literally like garbage unless I didn't have anywhere to go. How is it possible that if you are used to see yourself like that, then when you go to some event or you see a little bit of spotlight on you, you don't feel that same garbage that you're at home? No matter your makeup, your dress, whatever you wear, you will still feel that version of you because your identity is anchored to that version. You feel about yourself like that person, not about like this person that you are in that moment, that one time that you are out. That energy will always pursue you wherever you go. It will always leak in your interactions. Also, you don't have to choose between being elegant or sexy trashy, because when I say sexy, I don't mean show off your body as much as you can. What I mean is styling yourself and wearing something that activates that feline side of you, that moves with elegance and grace no matter where you're going, no matter who's gonna be there, and no matter what are the circumstances. And this doesn't mean spending 2 hours getting ready. Like for example, for me it's just wearing my raw hair with a little bit of black on my eyes and darker lip. That is done for me. That is activated already. This can take easily 10 minutes. And that's why I want to say you have to find your own thing that activates that side. You can't copy something on Pinterest or something you saw at some point. You have to find that button that every time that you click, you get there. You get there for yourself. And this is not because you're supposed to see yourself sexy just when you wear that and when you do that specific thing, but because the more you see yourself as this sexy version of yourself, sexy, unstoppable version of yourself, something in your identity shifts. Because your brain starts seeing you as that girl, not the girl that is rotting in her bed with dirty hair. It sees you like this goddess. Even if you go out one day with your hair completely undone, your face completely undone, you are still gonna embody that version of you. This is the power of activating a certain part of you most of the time. And I'm telling you, before I used to feel sexy just when my hair was perfectly clean, when I would have a perfect makeup on, when the moon was aligned with Jupiter in a certain angle, and maybe in the perfect circumstances I would feel good about myself and sex. Right now I feel sexy even the moment I get up at 3 a.m. to go to the washroom and I see my reflection, I feel sexy. That's why when I go somewhere I stand out, because my confidence doesn't fluctuate. I created this baseline identity for myself where my brain sees me in that specific way. Next, you have to absolutely forget the fear of being perceived as too much. You want to stand out? Okay, spoiler, for most people, you're gonna be perceived as too much. Why? Because they don't know half of the things that you know. They don't do for themselves half of the things that you do. They don't invest half of the time that you invest in your self-development. So of course, for people that are too little, you are going to be too much. You cannot keep trying to adapt to the circumstances, to the event, to the people. You have to be that person that only has a reference point, and that reference point is herself. For me, for example, I always loved getting ready. No matter if it's doing my makeup or picking my clothes, every single day I like to dress up like I'm going for a red carpet. However, when there was this trend of clean girl, wear less makeup, wear your hair like this and this other thing like that, I was always feeling like I was missing out in life by not being this just natural girl that does natural stuff the whole time. And I always loved experimenting. However, one day I realized, you know what? I'm just gonna be who I am. One day when I want, I can wear absolutely no makeup. I'm super confident even without anything. But most days, I love doing this. And even if I go to an event and I'm overdressed, you know what? Who cares? I don't compare anymore what outfit someone else is gonna wear because I just wear what I want. I wear what represents me and what makes me feel good in that moment. The confidence that runs through my body now, whenever I go somewhere and I don't feel afraid of being seen for who I am, wow, this unlocked a part of me that I've never seen before. This form of allowing myself to be was part of accepting my full range. Accepting that I don't have to cage myself in one version of myself. I can be a clean girl one day and I can just get dressed iconically with iconic hair and iconic makeup the next day. And I don't owe anybody any explanation. Not because I'm in this place and people are just like this. No. I don't try to meet any standards anymore because for myself, I am the standard now. And this is the darkness I want you to unlock in yourself. Something that makes you in the beginning feel shameful, but doing it over and over again until it becomes normal. Until you get so used to be seen in any circumstance, with any side, people will look bad at you. People will make you feel uncomfortable. They will look at you awkwardly. They will tell you something awkward, but you will get used to that feeling and you will still choose yourself. This is what dark feminine energy is. This is what standing out is. This is what embracing the weird in you is. Not because it's weird and unacceptable, but because it's not common, and people are always gonna judge something that is not common. The more you adapt to what you feel and not to what you can do to blend in, the more you will get used to be seen for who you are. You realize how amazing it feels when your outer appearance matches who you are inside and what you feel inside, and this will make feeling seen way less threatening. It will become so comfortable to be seen because you know you're not putting any energy into hiding. You don't use your energy to hide yourself, but to express yourself. The less intimidated you are when you feel seen, the more you will stand out in every single room. Another thing, women that stand out, they always treat people how they deserve. They know that they don't owe their warmth to anybody, and they're also not gonna act from coldness by default. When people deserve their warmth, they will give warmth, nurturing energy. When people deserve their coldness and their ugliness, they will also give their ugliness. You don't owe anybody being a sunshine in the rain every single time. Allow yourself to reply and to react in a way that they didn't expect. I don't care if they think it's too much. I don't care if they think it's dramatic. As long as it's true to how you feel, to who you are, as long as you're embracing your darkness and the ugliness in you, this is gonna make you stand out, and not because you are being more dramatic than anybody else, but because you embrace your truth. Free yourself from the default fixer role. And no, I don't mean go scream, go cry to this person. I mean burn down bridges. Be nurturing, kind, but if this person crosses you, be the one burning everything down. Destroy the relationship, the bond, the friendship, anything that it takes. If someone is constantly taking from you without ever giving you back, destroy it. Free yourself from the fixer role. You're not there to fix everyone's mood. You're not there to entertain people. Be blunt, say your truth, say what you won't tolerate. This is accepting your darkness. This is showing your ugliness. You're not just trying to be the kind girl that is always there and is always trying to find a solution to fix things. No, not everything needs to be fixed. Not every relationship needs to be fixed. Sometimes people show you who they are, and you need to act on it, even when it's ugly. No, people don't mess up by mistake. Sometimes they do bad things on purpose. And you owe yourself to burn everything down when it's needed to. You cannot stand out if you tolerate disrespect. Everyone around you needs to know that if they don't respect you, there is going to be a consequence. And the consequence may be ugly. You are not going to be accommodating. You are not going to try to avoid conflict. The consequence is going to be there. Next thing is radical self-mothering. Feeling more and feeling everything in a more intense way is the part that no one really talks about when they talk about dark feminine energy or embracing your darkness. Yes, we all start feeling more. Why? Because we allow ourselves to feel more. But the thing is that women that don't stand out, they constantly search for a protector, for a father figure, especially if they didn't have a father. I myself didn't have a father. So before, I used to always search for someone to be there for me. What is the downside of this? That you feel a lot, but you put these feelings into someone else's lap. And that day they can decide if they want to be loyal to you, help you, and give you something, or if they want to fail to you today. And if they fail to you, you have absolutely no control over anything. Why? Because you are alone. You are a girl lost in the world, and you can only hope for things. You don't act on them, you just hope on them. That's why women that stand out, they either did it on purpose or did it without realizing it, but they remother themselves. Part of remothering yourself is creating a safe space for you where you can do your things. You can learn things that you need to learn. Maybe you need to learn about money, you need to break some limiting beliefs. You need to create a space for you where you can evolve, where there are no people that constantly bring you down, where things are tidy and clean, creating a structure that allows your femininity to thrive without falling into laziness, but also without being like a terrible boss to yourself that constantly tortures you into giving more and more and more until your nervous system crashes. Teaching yourself skills that you need to evolve, like how to make money, how to stand up for yourself in order to not need a protector. When you integrate your inner protector and you come back home to yourself, you don't need someone to take you home all the time. You are not a lost girl in the woods that hopefully someone will find and take her home. You are the home to yourself. You feel free to express your emotions, to set boundaries, because you know that no matter the reaction of the other people, you are still gonna be safe. You're not going to depend on them. You stop abandoning yourself when you're not perfect or when someone makes you feel like you're not enough. Because you don't need perfect circumstances to stand out and to get stuff done, because you become the circumstance. Another thing that is subtle but it's extremely important is that you may have stopped people pleasing on a big scale, but many girls use their eyes to people please. Yes, eyes are enough to people please. And people can read immediately that you will be ready to do other things for them, to abandon yourself to accommodate them. And this is because most girls are raised to have always kind eyes, to have kind of like this smiling eyes, to look always engaged and on, and make strangers feel comfortable. Part of standing out for me was realizing that I don't owe people this kind of sparkle in my eyes. So therefore, I'm okay with just looking. I can just sit there, look completely emotionless, and just having this empty gaze. I'm not being rude, I'm not offending anybody, I'm just being. I'm just not performing interest for the sake of social politeness. When you don't use your eyes to please people, you have more energy to see them for who they truly are. You stop being the entertaining person in the room and you become the observer. When people can find a way to manipulate your reaction, you immediately stand out. Because now they actually have to do something to impress you, to get that reaction out of you. And now they are the ones self-conscious. They are the one thinking on what they can do to make you feel comfortable, to make you feel seen, and to create this thing that you try to create for them. You see how the power dynamic shifts? Women that stand out understand that they don't owe anybody to waste their time. And no, you don't have to force gossip, you don't have to go somewhere where you don't want to be, you don't have to watch a movie that you don't want to watch. Anything that you don't really want to do, that doesn't feed your soul, that doesn't make you feel better, you are allowed to skip it. When you accept your darkness, you become way more sensitive to nonsense bullshit, okay? So it's okay if most of the time you would rather sit on your sofa alone rather than being with a friend in a cafe and just talking about nothing the whole time. It is okay to not want to listen to what people have to tell you about their lives and their gossips and their news. And it's not about being antisocial, it's about being selective with your energy. Because if you want to have an energy that stands out, you cannot spread it everywhere. Something available to everyone and for everything is the complete opposite of standing out. Women that stand out, they are willing to be misunderstood by people that are ordinary. People that don't stand out will always misunderstand people that stand out. And this is not a rude thing to say. This is because they don't think and feel with the same level of depth. So therefore, they will always want to see you as the villain just because you don't project only lightness. Just because you also embrace your darkness and they cannot, they will try to paint you as the villain the whole time. Every single time that you do something that they would not do, they will see you as the villain. The girl that will not stand out, in this case, she will try to show people why she is good. She will try to convince people of her side of the story, to correct assumptions, and to always explain why. A girl that stands out, in this case, she doesn't correct assumptions. She doesn't want to explain her part of the story because she allows people to see her for who they are, not for who she is, for who they are. If I say no, if I change my mind, or if I don't want to come to some place, I don't give a paragraph of explanation and sorry and why. No, I just say politely, I can't. I just can't. Maybe I'm busy, maybe I have to do something, maybe some problem happened. Okay, nobody knows why, I can't. Nobody needs to know why. When you stop trying to convince people that you are good, that you are perfect, that you do things right, you realize that they will always see you based on their own limitations. No matter how good you are, they are always going to project their limitations onto you. Being misunderstood by the wrong people is actually the biggest sign that you are embracing your full depth, that you are accepting your whole range and you are standing out. Also, women that stand out always have something that is a signature of their identity. Have a signature makeup, a signature hairstyle, hair color, something that if someone needs to ask for it, they will show you. This keeps you away from looking basic, from blending in. It makes you memorable and a source of inspiration for people. It makes your aura recognizable, and if someone finds you inspiring, they can copy that little thing of you and they can feel your aura strongly onto them. So you can touch other people with your aura. I don't know if you ever had this thing where you really like a celebrity and you get something that she has, and then you feel some of her aura onto you. This is something that women that stand out have, no matter if it's a celebrity or if it's your co-worker, but they have a signature, something that when you wear it yourself, you feel elevated. This makes you also feel more powerful in your own skin, and this can be anything from your jewelry, from your hairstyle, it can be anything that is maintainable for you over time. But also, my love, if you want to stand out, you have to be okay with not being relatable for most people. If you apply all of this, you're just gonna be relatable for people that stand out. So the moment you feel misunderstood or you feel like you don't meet other people's expectations, you will have to lay back, relax, and keep standing out. Because every time you go back, it's every time that you deprive yourself from the possibility to stand out, to get what you want, to be who you want to be, and you will always be just confident in your head. You want to be confident in the real world? Okay, be willing to stand out. And thank you so much for watching. I hope that this community can be a home for you, just like it is for me. I'm sending you so much love, and see you next time.